Today's video is all about this tenor saxophone and maybe a little peek around where I'm filming today. But first things first, I need to get this down my neck. I'm starving. I want to get some food, some energy for doing this video. And there's my camera all ready to rock and roll there. It's got an XLR coming out to my microphone, which I'm talking into now, which is the Audio-Technica 3035. I'll be using this to record the saxophone also. And then that's my little basic setup. So let's get right back into this and let's talk about the saxophone. So yes, the saxophone. This thing is, what can I call it? Funky looking. It's got this nice matte silver finish. It has some nice shiny silver finish there with Pennsylvania written on the front there. This is what you call a Selmer Pennsylvania, but no, not that Selmer, not the French one. It is from the 1960s, or maybe 50s. I think it's East European made, probably made by somebody like a Amati or something similar. And it's very, very funky looking. Did I say that already? Yes, I did. Now I'm describing this after I've already fixed it up. Because when I got this thing, it wasn't exactly the best shape. It was a little bit dirty. It was still silver. It wasn't black like a lot of saxophones I get. This was silver. It needed a really good cleanup. The pads were horrible. These are the original pads that were in the saxophone from new. Wow. It's pretty much a bling saxophone. You've got this gold wash finish in the bell, the matte silver finish, the silver key work, the silver engraving there. I just think it looks great. But how does it sound? That's more important. But we get to that soon. Now have a look at this. I stripped it down to a tube. I took it all apart. I put everything right. I straightened up some posts. I took out some small little dings. I really sort of went to town on this thing because I wanted to restore it back to its former glory. And I think it looks cool as hell. I don't know what they were thinking in the 50s and 60s, but really they were going to town on this thing. I think it looks fantastic. Now, when you're playing this saxophone, the feel of it is a little bit more, let's say, spread. All your brands like Yanagisawa, Selmer, blah, 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 etc., they feel ultra slick, ultra modern, but this thing feels a lot wider. It feels more like a vintage con or something similar. Well, not exactly like a vintage con, but you know what I mean. It doesn't feel like a modern horn. This is also a large bore instrument, so a regular neck from, let's say, a Yamaha will not fit in here. It'll be way too small. There's your pinky cluster, and I actually like this because you've got this low B flat which comes round like this here. Now, a lot of people are not really fans of this sort of pinky cluster on your left hand, but I really like it. You've got your B, your G sharp, and your C sharp. I think it's quite okay. I don't know why people whinge about this sort of pinky cluster. The biggest thing I found, which was a bit different to what I'm used to, is the bis key, this little key there. The spread from your front B to your bis key is a little bit of a gap, but it's okay once you get into it. The right hand is quite spread also. It's like this. The thumb rest's pretty comfortable. I'm actually finding that these palm keys are very comfortable. I like the extension that they have on this long F key. I like this sort of layout. The octave mechanism is what it is. There it is. It does its octavey thing. That's what it does. You got a nice pearl touch there on your thumb rest. And if I told you, it looks pretty funky. Oh no, only about 2 or 3 times now. So let's get right into it. Let's see what this thing sounds like. And I will speak to you after the demo. So there you go, people. That was the Pennsylvania tenor saxophone. Now, you probably noticed I was playing some passages in there which were pretty fast. That wasn't like a showing off thing. Well, maybe a mini bit, but it wasn't just about showing off. I was doing it deliberately just to test what the feel of the key work is like, because I'm used to certain other key work which is a bit more modern and a bit more close together. And when I was going up and down on this thing, doing my little fast runs, I didn't really notice it that much at all. It didn't feel uncomfortable. I mean, if it was uncomfortable, I wouldn't be able to do them fast passages. And that's exactly why I was doing it that sort of speed. This thing feels nice. The sound is good. The tuning's pretty good as well. I think for an instrument that's from the 1950s or 60s, it's a solid enough instrument. It's not exactly a $5,000 or $10,000 saxophone, but it's a pretty solid horn if you want something that looks pretty cool as well. I think something like these are very underrated, and they're kind of left by the wayside because you can get cheaper modern saxophones, of course you can. But I like bringing these things back to life. I like putting life into these instruments, making them play and making them sound like they do. So my idea is to get this to somebody who will actually love and appreciate it for what it is, for all its little quirks, for all its little funny things, like they all do. They all have funny little things, these vintage saxophones. Whoever gets this is going to absolutely adore it because, first of all, it is eye candy. You cannot deny that. It looks fantastic. And the sound's pretty good as well. I didn't have any struggle to get my sound on this. In fact, it has quite a big sound on the bottom end, but because the setting I'm in where I'm recording, I kind of want to keep the noise down a little bit, but you kind of get the idea that it's a big sounding, nice, gutsy tenor saxophone. This thing has been brought to life and I'm so happy that I did, and I'm sure the next person who has this will cherish this. Hope you've learned something maybe about these funky old horns. I said the word funky again, yes! And thank you very much for coming this far, you horrible and lovely people. If you want to do it, you can just click on the like button. That would make this big smile go on my stupid head. And that's much appreciated, by the way. Jokes apart, I really respect all the people who subscribe and all the people who click on likes and leave comments. That really means a lot. With all that said, I want to love you and leave you all. And I will see you lot again. No, I won't see you lot. You will see me lot in the next video. Catch you later, people. Bye-bye for now.